To forgive is to forward give, as in FORE, forgive. And when you forgive, you are giving ahead of you. It is not what we've been led to believe, and I want to talk to you about why that is. Why are there so many purposeful misdirections? Why am I going to tell you about forgiveness today in a way that's going to make you go, hold on a minute, I've never heard it like this before. Why has no one given me this information before? Well, there's a couple of answers to that. Number one, you lived in a false matrix. We were all born to a prison. That's what the false matrix is. It's an imprisonment wherein information is withheld from you. So the walls, it is a barrier to truth, a barrier to your memories of who you are as an infinite being withheld from you. And so everything that's interwoven into the false matrix is at a certain vibrational frequency to keep you confused and to keep you in disharmony. So it's a lie dressed up as the truth, because there's always got to be fragments of truth interwoven into a lie in order to make the lie believable. This is how the dark ones have pulled the wool over humanity's eyes for so darned long. It sounds lovely. You know, the concept of forgiveness as we were taught it was you got to be loving. Bottom line, you want to be loving, you want to emulate love and kindness and compassion, and you don't want to carry resentment. See, this is all truth. This is absolute truth. You don't want to carry resentment with you. But in giving you that version of forgiveness, a higher truth was withheld, and I want to share that with you now. To forward give, specifically, to forgive your own love and compassion paves a path ahead of you that is beautiful and golden, because you are generously laying the foundation ahead of you of your own beauty and divinity. So if I were to consciously forward give my energy to my own path, and I witness myself laying a path of love for me to walk upon, I am forgiving. The way in which we applied forgiveness, however, was to give that forward giving, to give the compassion, love, kindness to another person, perhaps, because we must forgive them, or it was we must forgive ourselves. So whichever way we understood it, we understood forgiveness as an absolution of blame. Again, there's partial truths in there, because blame actually never serves anyone. When you forgive another person, yes, you are absolving them from blame. And this is where a lot of people get very, very, very irate. Almost rightly so, because let's just say that I was in a position where somebody waved a gun in my face. I couldn't possibly say to you, oh, don't worry about it, it was meaningless. It's not fine. It's not okay. There are things that are unforgivable. There are things that are not fine and not okay. But if I held resentment and blame for the other person, I would be robbing myself. If, however, I said, look, that person had so much authority in my life. They made me feel all of these things, all of these traumas, all of these whatever it was that surfaced. That means that they had more power in my life in that moment than I did, and that's a scary thing. I want my power back. So apply this to yourself. Who do you have to forgive? Have they had more power than you in your life? Yes, because they've hurt you. They've had the power to hurt you. They've had the power that you gave them. So you might say, oh, so I mustn't give them the power. No, don't jump ahead. And I say this because I know how the human brain works. Stay with me. When you notice that a person has more power than you do, it's not about taking power away from them. It's about giving yourself the power. It's about recognizing, wow, in that moment, I wasn't the authority in my life. How do I do that? How do I become the authority? Okay, that's where forgiveness comes in. I forward give my power back to myself. I lay that golden foundation for me. And how do I do that? Energetically, vibrationally. So I'm not going to go into the energetic technicalities of how you do this, because many of you will know I teach this in my online community. What I do here for you for free on YouTube is I give you the information that if you want to go and do it, you can. If you want me to guide you through it, then you come into my online community where that happens. So choice is yours. However, I want you to understand that forgiveness is not about what you give to the other person. It is about the path that you are giving to yourself of you restoring yourself to your rightful power. And when you are restored to your authority, it is only then that somebody else can be absolved from the authority that they once had in your life, because now you've reclaimed it. You've put yourself back in the driver's seat of your life. You are once again leading your life. Do you see how forgiveness is very much not as we were shown? Do you see how you were given fragments of truth but not the full picture? I want to give you that today. I want to give you the big picture so that you can be free to be you and to be whole and to not be beholden to half truths and sometimes even half-baked truths that really don't quite make sense. So do you understand that forgiveness is not about giving to somebody what you cannot give to yourself? It's actually about filling yourself up. And on that note, let's talk about generosity. Let's talk about giving, because for giving, it is to give. And whilst it is to give to yourself, in so doing, in generously giving to your own path, which means give yourself time and love and attention and energy and care and commitment and focus and dedication, all the things you want other people to give you. When you give this to yourself, you're going to be doing something so radically beautiful and powerful, and it's going to fill you up. And when you are full, you're going to leak, as in overflow, and then you become giving. What you're going to see in society right now is a fear of giving. And I'm not saying you've got a fear of giving. I'm saying look at the world right now. Can you see how very not generous people are? Now, I must say there are many exceptions, because many of you in my comment section, you are so giving with me. You are so kind to me. You give me compliments when I don't deserve them, like when I'm having some scruffy days like I'm having today. I know you guys are so well-meaning, and you say, hey, Kerry, you look great. I'm feeling kind of scruffed today, and that's okay. I really just wanted to have a heart-to-heart with you. I don't need to be your beauty queen. I just need to remind you that you are the beauty that you seek. I need to be the mirror for you of your heart of love that you forgot to look into. But that doesn't take away from your kindness and your generosity with me that I so often see. And I want to thank you for that. I want to thank you for being giving. So there's always exceptions. There's always exquisite, beautiful people in the world, and many of them make their way to my comment section, and I'm so blessed to have you. But look at the world at large, and you're going to see that there's a very deep fear of giving. There's a deep fear because people have been betrayed and hurt and trodden on and used and abused. So people are holding energy very close to their chest right now, almost protecting themselves. I don't want to be hurt. I don't want to overgive. So what's the remedy? Give your own path, your own life, your own self, everything that you've got. Give it to yourself. Give it. Forward give what you need so that as you walk into it, it's available to you. Forward give your light so that as you walk forward, you are blessed by the magnitude and the extreme potent beauty of your connection to God's source consciousness. Because if you take the time to feel this exact moment with me, you're going to feel how I'm speaking to you from a place of grace and love, because I'm tuning into the divine. And when I do this, you can do exactly the same thing. It becomes available to you. So we're now sharing a moment together. And you can take the moment that we're sharing and you can forgive it. Forward give it to yourself. Imagine sparks of light falling down in the path ahead of you, and imagine that you're going to walk through that shower of golden light exactly when you need it, when you're at a low point and you need healing and help and service and support, and to know that you're not alone, and to be reminded that you're beautiful. You are forgiving yourself for the moment when you doubted yourself, forgiving yourself for the moment when you need it. Do you see? Forgiveness is way more beautiful than you thought it ever was. Forgiveness is what you give to yourself. And because you've given it to yourself, you can only now extend it to others. When it doesn't originate from within you, it's not yours to give. So when you see people clutching on, I don't want to overgive. Have you had this experience? Because I have. going out with a friend for lunch or whatever it might be. and I've just always been a very generous giver. So if the bill comes, I'm so happy to pay the bill. And it's not about, who's got the most money or the least money. I've always loved being generous and the act of giving. It makes me happy. It really does. But there are people who will take that bill, and if yours is $9.99, then you got to pay me $9.99 with that 1 cent change. In other words, it's a very clinical, very literal exchange, and there's no room for generosity. And what I'm saying to you is not that that's wrong, but that you want to have room. Oh God, don't keep score. Have room for generosity, because do you know what? If you stop keeping score of everything you give, the universe is going to treat you the way you treat yourself, and it's not going to keep score of everything it gives to you. So if you learn to receive without keeping score of what you've received, you will learn to give without keeping score of what you're giving. I want you to love life in a way that you fall in love with yourself and being alive. Being alive. I want it to be a rapturous, joyful experience right here amidst the insanity that we're all living through and witnessing together. So when you see people clutching to their purse or to their chest or to their energy, not giving, not being generous, do you know what you're seeing? You're seeing stagnancy. You're seeing blockages. You're seeing pain. You're seeing them say, without the words, of course, you're seeing them say through their actions, I'm too scared to give. Because I feel like when I give, it takes something away from me. That's what you're hearing. Again, not with the words, but with the actions. See? People believe that it takes away from them when they give love, generosity, light, whatever it might be. The truth is, when you're full and you don't give, you're going to pop. It's almost impossible to not give when you are filled with light. So when you're not giving, it means you're not full. It means you're depleted. So fill yourself up by re-engaging, reconnecting with the divine. Because the most abundant source of light that there is God's source consciousness, which is free for you to plug into and tune into. And I would love for you to develop and fine-tune that free-flowing connection. So bottom line, to forgive is to forward give. It takes nothing away from you. It gives everything to you. It replenishes you. Lots of love from my heart right into yours. I hope that you feel it. I'm going to link a video for you up here. Watch it.